to defend Taiwan in the event of an attack by mainland forces. And that's despite Bush's attempt last night to tone down his tough message, which many observers took as a shift in U.S. policy. But Taipei, which cautiously welcomed the U.S. leader's remarks, said it did not see it as a major shift in U.S. policy toward the island. Regina De Luna reports.
Bush's comments yesterday made headlines on both sides of the Taiwan Strait today. And reactions on the streets of Beijing and Taipei, not surprisingly, were ambivalent. The U.S. says it subscribes to the One China principle, this woman in Beijing says. Yet they sell weapons to Taiwan. Are they not making the problem worse? While this Taipei resident says he's afraid that Taiwan has become a pawn between two superpowers. Officially, Beijing expressed strong indignation over the U.S. leader's pledge to protect Taiwan from any attack by mainland forces.
必须指出，美方在日前宣布向台湾出售大量的先进武器之后，紧接着又发表了上述错误的言论，这是在危险的道路上越走越远。我们对此严重关切。美方的错误言行严重违反了中美之间的3个联合公报的原则，背弃了自己的承诺，是对中国的主权和领土完整的公然挑衅，将进一步助长台独势力的 嚣张气焰，危害台海地区的和平与稳定。
Meanwhile, in Taipei, a foreign ministry spokeswoman said that while Taiwan welcomed Bush's remarks, it did not judge U.S. policy based on one sentence. But the Bush administration's recent go-ahead of one of the largest U.S. arms sales to Taiwan in many ways put added weight to Bush's words. Foreign Minister Tang Jia-xuan in Ukraine condemned the weapons package, calling it an interference in China's sovereignty. And he warned the United States will suffer as a result of the deal. Regina De Luna, TVB News.
Last night, Bush appeared to have eased away from his earlier remarks indicating U.S. willingness to use American military force to defend Taiwan. He said there's been no change in policy toward Taiwan and hopes Beijing and Taipei will resolve their differences under the One China policy. Jeremy Austin reports.
It has long been the great uncertainty for LA in preparations for a possible invasion of Taiwan. Would they have to take on the U.S. military as well? President Bush yesterday appeared to answer that question in no uncertain terms.
That if Taiwan were attacked by China, do we have an obligation to defend the Taiwanese?
Yes, we do.
And
the Chinese must understand that. Yes, I would.
With the full force of American military?
Whatever it took to help Taiwan defend herself.
White House officials later said this was no more than an open secret. Wasn't, they asked, the deployment of aircraft carriers to waters off Taiwan during mainland military exercises in 1996 the use of force? But Bush, in subsequent interviews, appeared to backtrack. Nothing has really changed in policy as far as I am concerned, he told CNN. Bush said he supports the One China policy and a peaceful resolution of the issue. He said he doesn't want to see Taiwan declare independence, but added he would uphold the spirit of the 1979 Taiwan Relations Act, which requires the U.S. to provide the island with the means to defend itself. Seeking to clarify the U.S. position, National Security Advisor Condoleezza Rice said the U.S. has an obligation to ensure Taiwan's peaceful way of life is not upset by force. A secure Taiwan, she said, will be better able to engage in cross-strait dialogue. Jeremy Austin, TVB News.
U.S. officials are now expressing fears that China might have got an intelligence windfall from the American spy plane that made an emergency landing on Hainan Island earlier this month. Officials say the crew of the plane was not able to destroy as much of the secret materials on board as they originally believed. Even though computer disks and drives were smashed, they were not destroyed to the extent that rendered them useless, and determined Chinese investigators could still retrieve the information from storage. The EP-3 surveillance aircraft, which had a mid-air collision with a Chinese fighter jet over the South China Sea on April the 1st, remains at an air base on Hainan Island. The U.S. is still trying to get it back.
球迷騷亂，黃章橋報導。球賽開始之前，場外聚集咗幾萬人，當中好多係買唔到飛嘅球迷，部分人企圖爬牆入去睇波。 不過都被趕翻落嚟，而爬牆嘅人太多，秩序一度相當混亂。 阿富汗警方同國際和平部隊在場維持秩序，並一度發射10幾枚橡膠子彈，又用長棍驅散群眾。今次係自塔利班政權被推翻以嚟，阿富汗國內第一場國際性嘅足球比賽，3萬張入場券一早已經賣晒。賽事由阿富汗全國嘅足球精英對國際和平部隊嘅成員，國際和平部隊最後以3-1勝出。無線電視記者黃章橋報道。
喺海牙國際法庭受審嘅南斯拉夫前總統米洛舍維奇話，會要求西方國家領袖出庭作證，包括美國前總統克林頓，因為佢當年有份下令北約部隊炸死科索沃平民，更加指佢故意下令轟炸中國大使館。米洛舍維奇被控66項戰爭罪行，如果罪名成立，可能被判